Okay, we should be live, but it's probably gonna be tough to find this stream, so I'll wait. I'll wait and see if you find it. I'm wondering where I should post it. Let's see. Let's see. This is annoying. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me properly, and we'll hope for the best. So yeah, hey Nikki, thank you for being here. Yeah, it should work better. It's not the connection. It's just this stupid streaming software. Uh, it's not the connection. It's my computer. So annoying. Yeah, here it's gonna work okay. It's just so frustrating, man. Let's see. I'm gonna put the link in the comments of the thing here. Let's see. Shut up. New screen. Hopefully someone will see this, and we'll get started. But you can see, I had a lot of cool plans, so hopefully we can. Good, good. Okay, people find it. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for refreshing. So I wanted to do so many cool things today. So we're 20 minutes late, but that's fine. That's not a lot of time. Here's what we're gonna do. And sorry, I let me check the chat because of course I haven't seen your chats. Oh, here it is. I actually have it on my phone. So I'm gonna answer the questions I see here. Let's do a screen capture to make sure I don't miss any because I have seen some good questions. And we'll go ahead. I hate the new Mac update. It just turned everything slow. When the specs are the same, when the computer is the same, the hardware software is the same, but you just did an update and it made it be super slow. Like how annoying is that? It's so annoying. But in case we'll get to it. So I wanted to share with you just so that we feel at home. I wanted to share with you some pictures actually from the new place. And for the studio, tell you a bit about the plans for the studio. Now I just added a new action item to get a new computer. It's so annoying. We had so many expenses. I don't know. I don't know how soon I can buy a new one, but um, so yeah, I have a few cool plans design wise for the studio. It's all gonna change. It's gonna be it's going to be so much better, and there's going to be so many more cool things to see in the background. Trust me, I'm working on it. And I wanted to share with you a painting I've been working on. I finished yesterday for the apartment specifically. I painted it for here and a bunch of other cool stuff. So let me see who's in the chat, and I'm going to thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Karina, so much. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Margarita, so much. And for the support recently, really appreciate it. Thank you. Pashkalin, hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. Tarcisio, how are you doing? It's been a while, right? Chris, hope everything is going well. Let me just listen to myself with the audio. Can I change the thumbnail now? Oh yeah, the audio was really terrible. Why is it so bad? Why is the audio so bad? Audio, mic. Oh yeah, no. We need this. This is the mic. Let me know if it's better now. It should be much better. Let me know if you noticed a change. I'm listening back to see if it improved. Yeah, okay, much better. Okay, sorry, listen to myself. Oh man, yeah, so it's much better now. I think. I mean, it's not a perfect mic, but it's still better than what was before that. Less echo, I guess. Thank you, D. Thank you, John. Thank you, Donna, Ambi, Chris again. Let's see. This is annoying. I have so many cool updates for you. So let's talk about the apartment first. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Ty Dine. I want to show you a pic or two and just going to give you an idea of where we are. So how should I do this? Because I prepared to stream on OBS, not here. I can just bring in a photo or two. So let me see. I'm going to bring up a pic of the studio just to give you some kind of an idea. Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Let me show you the living room first, actually, because it looks so darn good. Okay, there we go. So here's the living room. It's gonna upload. 1 second. I'm gonna try. Sorry for bumping the mic all the time. I'm gonna try and do this. Yeah, okay. So here's the living room. It looks really, really good. You haven't seen the sofa yet. The last pic I sent wasn't with the sofa, and you can see Ruth kind of hiding there, like the cutie she is. So we got a sofa that fits the space. There's my painting in the corner above it. Hopefully you can see that. Sorry that I can't point. Hey Mandy, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. There's the balcony with the grass. It just finally looks like home. And we really, really like the way it looks. Yes, indeed, it is lush with the synthetic grass. I can actually show you. Let me see if I can upload multiple images. I'll just upload everything. I'll just upload the whole thing. Let's see. So minus that. As we speak, I'm gonna just upload a bunch of stuff. It may slow down the connection a bit, but just for a few moments as it uploads the pictures. But let me hide this for a second. So we had some really great plans for the apartment. The living room is pretty much done. Bedroom's done. Bathrooms was a lot of work. With just with the closets and sinks and a bunch of stuff. But finally, it's done. Let me show you the kitchen area. So this is really nice. Things stretch a bit on the right, so the fridge looks huge. It's actually not that wide, but it's funny. Let me see if I missed any questions from the previous stream as we're looking at this. Because I did see a question by Pascaline. I have a question about time and how to use it for tutorials and inspiration, learning and technique, isolation. Yeah, sketching and journaling, practicing. Shall I swap weekly or daily? So I would say just one note about this question, because it is a great question. I think it's individual, and on an individual basis, it's going to change from one person to another. What I would encourage you to do is find your own rhythm. It's very hard. Sometimes it's easy to get out of touch with ourselves, but at some point you'll feel like you're tired of following tutorials, and I think that's where a lot of people are, and they don't notice it. If you feel like you're tired of following tutorials, that's when you know you have to make a switch. That's what I would encourage you to do. Okay, so just have that in mind. If you're sick of tutorials, if you don't want to paint someone else's work, that's when you switch and you paint your own. After a while, you'll feel like you're really growing and learning new things by painting your own pictures from your own imagination, whatever it is you want to do. That's when you know it is time to maybe soak up some knowledge and learn from tutorials. Just a quick, because I really wanted to address that because it's such a great question. Shalom, very nice. Thank you so much, Lydia. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, John. Yes, definitely happy. It's very relaxing. Let me show you the balcony once again. I actually have a bonus thing for you. I'm going to show you a video. So every evening from this balcony, we have a little show that the parrots put for us. There's this pack of green parrots. They're all around the country. And every evening around 7, they just start flying around our group of buildings. And they fly around and they come back, and every time they get closer and closer to the balcony. I'm not sure what the purpose is. I know it's an invading species of a bird, so it kind of ruined it for a lot of other birds. But they're just beautiful, and I'm going to show you later a video, so hopefully that'll be fun of them. I have a few nice videos of slow motion, and this is kind of the view from outside. Very, very nice, very relaxing. It's much more quiet than Tel Aviv. There's still some noise, obviously, but not as much. Now there's a lot of construction everywhere in Tel Aviv, so it's a nice thing that we at least don't have to go through that, like all over the city, everywhere. I went back there for some stuff, and there were tons of cranes and trucks and concrete trucks and a bunch of stuff all around the city. It was tough. So yeah, thank you, Pascaline. Happy I could help in a way. Nikki, I was wondering what the hanging things are. Bird feeders, plants? Yeah, so it's actually pots, plant pots, with flowers and mostly flowers, I would say, but some herbs and spices, I think, too. And yeah. So let me show you the studio. So basically what you're seeing is everything behind me, right? You just get another angle to it. And let's see here, where did I? Yeah, so here it is. This is what you see above. So I just put a bunch of stuff there. It looks nice. Now, I do have a bunch of plans for that TV, and you can see it behind me, so I can just make it disappear. So for the TV here, right this side, I want to put some light strips behind it, so it's going to be nice and glowy. And I will get lights to put in front of me on both sides of the table, so there will be, and then what I can do is close the blinds. We'll get our blinds hopefully soon. So this natural light, it's very high contrast. We're going to get rid of some of that, turn on lights in the front, have some cool lights in the back, and the lighting situation is going to look much better than in the past. So that's going to be something like a big improvement that I'm quite excited about. Things are falling from the wind. But yeah, Ruth loves watching the parrots. She sits there like observing them suspiciously. Yeah, ambient light. It's going to look so much better. You'll see. I'm really trying to push myself to improve it because it's one of those things I don't naturally do. And I do enjoy a nice work environment, but I never put in the actual effort it takes. So this time I won't make that mistake. By the way, the one disadvantage with streaming with StreamYards is that I only have the 720p. I don't have the 1080 HD, so maybe I'll just upgrade my subscription because I need it for now because OBS is crap. But yep, we'll see about it. Maybe I'll just use that. No, we'll figure it out. You want to see the bathrooms? Your filming setup is interesting in the studio. Do you find it cramped to work under or get used to it? Not really, but it is a bit awkward, I will admit. So let me show you a better picture of it. What did I show you? Yeah, I haven't shown you this. So this is like a bunch of stuff. There's the 2 cameras, the microphone. There's gonna be the lighting. There's a lot. So that's usually how it is when you film. What you see is nice and kind of organized, hopefully. But what I see in front of me is a big mess. But it is meant to improve the film quality and what it looks like. So I don't have the privilege of artists who just create art and don't film, where they can just have their neat little station and have everything really beautiful. To me, I need to have all of this set up in front of me, unfortunately or fortunately, because then I can create content. So yeah. Yes. So let's see. Plumpy Lump, good morning, everybody. Good to see you later on. Thank you so much for tuning in, Plumpy Lump. Let's see if I can change the thumbnail of this live stream for new people that find it. I wonder if I can do that midstream. Update thumbnail. I did have a nice thumbnail prepared for it. Thumb. Let's see. Let's save it and see if it works. Midstream. I don't know if it's a risk or not. I think it shouldn't interfere. It should be okay. Yeah. Okay. This is backend stuff. It shouldn't interest you. But I think it worked. So yeah, let me see what else I wanted to show you. Let me show you the bathroom because it's been a big challenge to get it right. So you see it here. Let me move myself. I'm gonna scoot over here or here. It's better. So you can see a bit of my face. I wish I could just move this, but I can't, unfortunately. So yeah, this sink is really fancy. It wasn't more expensive than a regular sink, but it does look good. And just this room was a mess because you see in the ceiling there was a leak from the air condition unit, which is still not fully solved. So the ceiling got wetness on it, and it's been a nightmare. It's still not complete. The wetness is still there. We'll probably need to replace the ceiling. It was a big mess. This room was a big mess. I had to scrape the whole thing and put some new, what do you call that? I don't know how you call it in English. I know in Hebrew, and then paint over it like 7 layers. But yeah, now it looks really good and really neat. What else do I want to show you? This is a studio from afar. living room, kitchen area. We have seen the balcony. This is a close-up of the sink, if you've ever been interested in the sink. So this is it. We actually have a shower room and a bathtub, I guess, room. So two bathrooms essentially, which is a huge upgrade for us. And yeah, Jan, nice to see you, Leron. Good vibes. Beware for the parrots. Thank you so much. Plaster. Yeah, I don't know if it's plaster. We call it spachtel, but what do you call it? I knew it. Maybe it's plaster. Maybe it's plaster. Good morning from Canada. Thank you so much, DNF. Awesome. Dwayne, Fionn, hello from Denmark. I've been looking forward to this. You're very inspiring. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. So let's see. So let me show you the painting I worked on yesterday. This is going to be fun. Not logo. What am I doing? Add overlay. Painting. Okay, let's see here. So this is the one. You can see it in the thumbnail too, but let me place it. Of course, it's going to place it in the dead center. So I'll have to go move up or down. We'll see. It'll take a moment to upload. But yeah, so we wanted to put, we had a spot in the apartment where we wanted to put a painting, and Mai wanted to put a painting that's very horizontal, of a crowd of people. So I actually painted this in one day. I sketched it, and then the next day I painted it. Very happy with how it turned out. A bit of a weird technique here and there for sure. And the picture is not as good of a quality because it's a very weird kind of orientation. So I had to, I couldn't scan it. So I had to take a picture. So you see a picture of it that I cropped. But just a really fun one that I painted in a day. It's an interesting little setup, you know, these paintings where you paint a big crowd of people or tons of different details. And I try to combine a bit of wet and wet and a bit of, you know, other techniques. But I think the end result does look pretty cool and pretty good balance. Now, it's a big one. So it's like this and thin, and it's going to go up on the wall, kind of like this one behind me here. So it's going to be look good from afar, because right now it looks a bit messy on the screen, I know, but it's going to look really, really nice from afar. You'll see. But yeah, so I worked on that. I actually painted it from just a random photo over Google Images because it's not meant to be sold. It's not even meant to be displayed outside here. So I use a photo that has copyrights on it, but it's not going to be commercial in any way. So I kind of broke my own habit of only using my own pictures, or, you know, pictures from non-commercial stuff. And people sometimes ask, you know, is it allowed to paint from pictures that are copyrighted? If it's just for yourself, like, who cares? I know the law may say something different, but in my opinion, it's silly. So let's see. Let's go over some of your comments, and if you have any questions, and let me check real fast that I haven't missed again any important questions from the previous stream, just to make sure. Yeah, Chris, about the palette, it's actually the same colors I've shown you in the latest video. I haven't switched too much of any of it. Let's see. Nikki, I always link to the live streams through Instagram. A lot of people miss it, though. Yeah. Big security update. I run a MacPaw program, which frees it up. Oh, so Pierre, let me know. Yeah, I did a restart just before the stream, so it didn't help. Pierre, let me know how you do that. I'm curious if that helps in any way. I'm going to try speed things up. It's so annoying. But in any case, yeah. So I'm going to go over your messages in just 1 second, and I'll just update StreamYard so that I'll have the 1080 for next time. Yeah. Where was I? Marie, how are you? Which floor level of the building are you? We're almost the topmost floor, so it's a nice view. It's a really nice view. It's not super high and it's not a super tall building, but yeah, we're definitely not ground floor, which I'm happy about. Karina, love how contemporary everything looks. Thank you. Yeah, this is mostly Mai's work, the design, not May, because her name is pronounced Mai in Hebrew. So I'm gonna try and pronounce it the correct way, not May, like in English. So it was mostly Mai's work, not my work, Mai's work. She's really good with design. I provide the paintings, and she knows exactly where to put everything so that it looks really good. And she has a really good vision when it comes to all of these things. Yep, maybe it's a drywall, I guess. Yeah. Uwe, how are you, my friend? Good to see you here as well. Thank you for hopping in from the previous stream. Hank, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Marina, good morning. Great job. Moving is never easy. Yeah, and we finally, like, this week was finally a full work week properly. It's been interesting because this Sunday, I did my last therapy session, NLP stuff, and it's been great. I cannot stress how freeing this process was and how much clarity it gave me. So very happy about that. Hopefully it is noticeable, and it's going to be noticeable in the upcoming months and weeks as these ideas get better integrated in my subconscious, basically. But it's been really, really good. Really good. If you want more, you feel free to ask questions about that too. And I hope to soon do a painting live stream too, because it's been a while, I know. Thank you, Ambi. Margarita, how big is it? It's actually similar size to the previous apartment, but this does have 3 bedrooms instead of 2. So 3 bedrooms, which is one of them is this. The other one is the other one's also an office right now, and our bedroom. So there's 3 bedrooms, but 2 of them are used as office space for now. Thank you, Plumpy Lump. Thank you, D. Thank you, Uwe. Thank you, Karina. It's like a photo of ghosts. Funny. Pretty cool. Yep. Thank you, John. Awesome painting, Liron. Will that be going on the large frame you posted? Yeah, exactly. The turquoise one. It's actually right here. Yep. That's exactly it. So I told the story. I went to a framing store, and the guy before me that got his painting back, he threw the old frame for some reason, or he didn't. He submitted his painting to be framed. He wanted to throw the old frame, and I looked at the frame. It's a really beautiful one, and I was like, why not? I'll use that. So I asked if I can have it. If the frame store was going to use it, I told them, like, if you want to repurpose it, feel free to let me know, but if you don't, I'll be happy to have it. I love thin rectangular formats. Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Oh, you asked about not the apartment, the painting, right? So it is, I'm not sure exactly, but let me show you. So I just grabbed the frame. Here it is. How much is that? I'm actually not sure. So this looks something like 35 centimeters, 32 if I'm not mistaken. I measured the actual paper by 70 something. So it's not huge, but it is pretty big. Definitely too big for the scanner. And look at the frame. I don't know. I really, really liked it. It's like a nice teal color with a bit of the wood showing. Maybe I'll repaint it even. I don't know, but it just looks so good. I couldn't let it stay there, and it's been a while since I wanted to do an extreme horizontal format. So yeah, so that's been great. I recognize a French singer, Michael Polnareff. Do you actually hear him? Because I don't have any music in the background. But let me know. I'm curious. Was it the very first painting you did in the new flat? Actually, no. The first one I did was car 98, the car and night scene that I filmed for the video. That was the first painting I did here. This was the third one. Actually, you know what? The first one is the painting from the latest video I did. Actually, first one was that car and roads. Someone commented that I did a lot with this hideous reference photo, so I take that as a compliment. The car and the roads and abstract pulling details out of thin air. That was the first one. Second one was the car at night, and this is the third one. So pretty cool still. Diane, how are you doing? Hi, everyone. You can use any of my reference photos anytime. Thank you. Colleen, hello. Finally get to join the live chat. I understand your technology issues completely having the same problems here in Oxford, Mississippi. Yeah, man, I Gotta find a solution. I wanted to run OBS's automatic setup thing so that it will tell me how low of setting I need to do so that it actually works properly. But yeah. Arpad. By the way, Arpad in Hebrew means a vampire, so that's cool. Hi, Lauren. I've watched many of your videos while training for the architecture entrance exam, and I got in. I would like to say thank you for all your help. That is awesome. That is really, really cool. Wow, I'm so happy I could help in a way, and congratulations for getting in. Architecture is very interesting. At some point, I considered doing that actually. At some point, like before I even started the business. So I was like, maybe I'll be an architect because I love drawing. But yeah, that would have been interesting if I'd gone in that direction. On a painting, a guy looks like a singer. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, so it's cool because it's kind of abstract. So I think every person can kind of recognize someone they know there. And it not actually being the person. Now that I look at it, someone actually looks like someone I know here too. I need to probably calm down some of the highlights. We'll see. Maybe I'll do that now that I look at it. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, it has this abstract-esque quality to it that I really, really like. So yeah, what else? I wanted to talk about something else that I now forgot. But I guess, yeah, this is going to be probably a shorter live stream than usual, so my apologies in advance. So I've been slowly going back to work, going back to my routine. It's been interesting because a lot of things have changed. First off, I took a big break. I didn't really work for a month or so, and that always kind of pushes me off balance in a way. Getting back, as you know, when it comes to painting, for many people is very challenging. To me, it's actually not that challenging when it comes to painting. I'll just try and rearrange this. When it comes to painting, it's actually not that challenging. It's more challenging when it comes to work itself. That can be a big challenge for me. So I'm slowly getting back to it. You notice probably I'm not posting as much. I'm focusing more on just making a few quality pieces of content, like one video a week, and then this live stream. And also not too many posts on Instagram, barely anything on Twitter, other places. I kind of decided to focus in. You will probably see more posts on Facebook soon. I want to get back to it because I see a lot of activity there, and it looks like a lot of people actually read and look at what I post there. You have noticed probably that I'm posting a lot of shorts and a lot of reels on Instagram, so short videos. I actually find these very fun to create and entertaining. So I found myself watching my own short videos just for fun. And a lot of people have been watching them. They've been getting a lot of views. So I'm going to try and provide that as well. It's not going to replace anything because if you remember, even back when I did 3 videos a week, which was 2 videos in a live stream, I still didn't have a video every day. So now it's going to be like almost every day. There's going to be a quick, fun, short style video, for mostly for watching on the phone. So it's vertical. Let me know if you've been finding these helpful because I can share like a really quick tip for you. So, for example, the one about with the box or cube that I drew in, and it really shows you how you can allow the shapes to mix together, and it looks good. Just a slight mixing. I think it's really fun. These kinds of videos, quick tip, very digestible. Not going to waste too much of your time, right? You don't have to watch a long process. Now, hopefully, you find that helpful. So yeah. Nikki, I want to say thank you for making me aware of yellow ochre. I'm trialing it with lemon yellow, phthalo blue, and some very pink red, whose name I can't remember at the moment. I love using it as a yellow. Yeah, it's just a great, great yellow to have. It just lacks the brightness. So if you're using lemon yellow, it's great. That'll give you the brightness, and then you can use it for everything. Darkening, dark yellows. It's just perfect for that. It's a really good color for, everyone asks about how to paint these buildings with old walls, old European style buildings. You just mix a neutral that is a bit warm, and I find the yellow ochre really good for that purpose. But yeah. And also one more note on that. Yellow ochre by M. Graham in particular, I find to be beautiful. It's very vibrant. It's not as grainy. It dries soft, unlike most yellow ochres are a little annoying to work with. Sometimes they're too grainy. It's just smoother. It's almost like a transparent, smooth paint, only yellow ochre. So I highly recommend M. Graham's in particular.
Hopefully you can get it separate on a separate tube and not a set. But yeah, Emil, what do you account as work? So for me, honestly, it's content creation mostly. That's work. Making videos. Also making the courses and products and the book, for example, the car book that I work on. So products, content, and marketing. That's the trifecta. Now, inside it, there's also the just make art, just painting, just drawing, just sketching. That has been not getting enough attention, and I'm aware of it. But the heart of my work is sharing. So the best the best case scenario is a painting I really enjoy making that also translates to a good piece of content. So by the way, this painting behind me is that perfect example. It's a great video. I think it's one of my best videos ever, and it's a painting I really enjoyed making, the somewhat realistic boats. So that'll be the perfect definition of work to me. And you say, okay, it seems the video production is one of the time consuming activities accounted. Yeah, actually, so yeah, the post production is the most time consuming thing. Not just videos, but also posts, short videos, all kinds of stories, all of this. So creating the content is very easy for me. Filming the videos, painting and filming it, documenting it, writing is very fast for me. The post production, meaning editing the video, posting it, doing all the hashtags, tags, title, thumbnail design, that's the most time consuming thing. That's probably the thing I'll bring someone at some point to help me with, like an employee or something like that. Because honestly, I could film 5-6 videos a day. The editing part is so time consuming, and I like the videos to be useful, so I try to edit it in a way that's interesting, that shows everything properly, that shows the reference photo, timestamps to be useful for you, that you can actually easily navigate the video. You notice I have a lot of timestamps for the first wash, sketching stage, details, all of that. So yeah, to be honest with you, the main bulk of my work is making content. And some people may have a cynical opinion of that, which is fine. But the thing I want is to inspire others, and to inspire others, you have to put something out there, right? Now, one thing that will slowly become part of my work is a manga I'm working on. This time, I actually wrote a short story. It's actually gonna be meant to be one chapter, about 60 pages. It's a comic book, basically. But this time it's a very narrow story. It's not something long. I always end up writing too long of a story, and then I get discouraged after drawing a few pages. It's not going to be the case this time. I have a very, very good plan for it. That story, it's pretty tight, but I'm going to make some improvements. I've been working on it for the past couple of days. I still need to better write the characters, do a bunch of stuff. If you look at my story on IG right now, like I posted a story about an hour ago showing a character design. I can show it to you. It's right in front of me, actually. So let me show you. I just want to show you the design itself. So let's see here without the text, because the text is still a secret. But I just finished designing this, and I think it looks really, really good. It's very initial, so of course it's still quite generic in a way. The character is not interesting. It's nothing special, but I will improve the design as well. But I wrote a short story, short story that's meant to be a short story, which will mean I'll be spending a lot more time drawing, actually just drawing. Manga is very time consuming, so I'll have to figure out how to do this. But yeah, that's it, I will say. Hank, quick tips that lead up to a full painting might be interesting. Yep. That's kind of the direction I've been headed. I love the shorts on YouTube that you did. Yes, the cubic video definitely helped me out with seascapes. Oh, awesome, with seascapes. Yeah, it's really a mindset shift. Just recognizing that you really don't have to be very, let's say, obsessed with every shape needs to stand on its own. It's okay to let everything mix together. In fact, sometimes it's a good idea. It's hard to do it first in a controlled way, right? Everything blends together. But you saw the cube really preserved its structure, even though all three sides mixed and the shadow mixed together. But yeah, Margarita, I love quick tips better than a step-by-step tutorial. I don't want to paint after someone at the moment. I'd rather have technical tips. Yeah, that's one of the things that it allows me to do. Just show a technique real fast. And to be honest with you, sometimes a recipe that, because I like to cook, so sometimes I'll watch a recipe that's a short, and it just shows do this, do that, do this, do that, bam, you're done in 30 seconds. Is much better than a video that goes on and talks about useless stuff. So yeah. Hey Jill, how are you doing? It's been a while. Thank you so much for being here. Plumpy Lump, I took your advice and really went for it. My paintings usually come out like cartoons, but I've pushed myself substantially to be more realistic. I've been killing my work a lot more. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, send me an example. I'm curious to see. Actually, that's really cool. Uwe, your heart is really big. They considering everything you share. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying to share as much as possible. It's what I love, you know. I'm happy that it coincides with an actual need of people and actually helps. By the way, the painting is right here. Why didn't I just reach out and show you? Here it is, full size, so you can see it here. Let me show you some details up close. That must have been a terrible sound, so sorry about that. There we go. Yeah. So it's a decent size, I would say. It's longer than my arm, actually, if you look at it this way. So yeah. There we go. Gotta put it in the background for now. I will definitely update you once it's framed and all of that. Will be interesting to show you the final result. You got it, Emil. Happy to help. When you said manga, I started to smile. Yeah, thank you so much, Margarita. By the way, for the support on the second channel. It's been fun. It's my kind of long-term strategy to market the manga. So hopefully I'll start. And I have another channel for manga, anime, Liron Pop. It's called like Pop Cult. And I'm going to start posting there also videos of the art. Hopefully they will do okay. Thank you, John. Loving the reaction channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I don't expect, honestly, anyone here to actually watch it because it's such a different topic, such a different niche. But if anyone here is interested in it, it's cool to see you over there. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? We're back indeed, full force. Karina, nice. Looking forward to your manga comic. Thank you so much. Patio, wow, I wouldn't even know where to begin. In what way? I forgot what we were talking about. Let me know. Awesome in real life. Yes, definitely. Where's the best place to share with you? Insta. So Plumpy Lump, if you can send it to me right now on Instagram, I'll see it. Otherwise, Instagram is the worst place to share stuff. So send it to me on Instagram right this second, and I'll see it. If you can't, then email. Send me an email via the email on the channel. I see everything there. I don't reply to everything, but I see everything. So that's definitely the best way to go. Did we ever message on Instagram? Because if not, I'll see it in a request. So let me know. Let me know once you send it. I'll take a look. Your painting. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't even know where to begin. In what way? Like how to paint this thing? So you know what's funny? I just started in the middle. There wasn't like an overarching wash, anything like that. I just started in the middle. So sometimes the paintings where you don't know where to begin are the best. You just begin somewhere, especially those that have this sort of a repetitive almost pattern. The reason for the repetitive pattern is, there's a lot of people. That's actually sometimes the best because you can just start somewhere and work in an area and then move on to another area and do your best to paint the area in a way that works together and then move on to another one. And it's okay if they're separate in a way. So what I find. Yeah, it's actually not that tough. Believe me. If you just start somewhere, you'll end up succeeding. Let me show you the parrots. I think it's a good time. And if you have any questions in the meantime, ask them. So let's see. Can I actually bring in a video? Now that I think about it, I'm not sure. Can I upload a video here? Let me try. Let me try and we'll see. So, vids, chill live stream. Parrot vid. Yeah, it won't let me. So how should I? Oh yeah, okay, I can do this here. There's actually a way. Oh, why wouldn't it let me? Add video clip. Why wouldn't it let me upload? Upload a video clip, recommended size. Huh. Oh, okay. File type MP4. Well, thank you so much. Only MP4 is accepted. Can I export this as MP4? So I have some MOV videos. Let me see if I can export it real fast as MP4. If I can do that with QuickTime, then I'll show you. It's just really fun. So file, export as. No, No, I can't. Can I just rename it? Let's try. MP4. Will it work? Use MP4. Looks to be working. Let's see if I manage to trick the system. I don't know anything about video, so I don't know how like different formats work and what formats should work or shouldn't work. Yeah, it actually worked. I just renamed the MOV to MP4 and it's okay. So let's see if it actually works here. I'm gonna play it for you. So that was the parrot. Did you get the audio on that? Let me see if you got the audio. Let me check. Yeah, okay, the audio played. That's so funny. I'm gonna play it again if you missed it. That was the parrot in slow-mo. Now let me add the second clip. It's just fun. MP4. Yep. So this one is horizontal. Well, oh, it won't let me get a horizontal vertical video, or will it let me? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I'm gonna upload it. This one's a bit longer, but hopefully that's entertaining. Let's see what you're saying in the chat. Colleen, how do you decide which of the faces get more detail than the others besides the center of the painting? That's actually pretty much it. The center got the most attention in detail too, but you'll notice that one of the figures didn't. So like the figure in the dead center is very ambiguous. Like this woman with the right down here, right? So that was kind of on a whim, really. There isn't a science to it. The one thing I will say is if I saw a figure that had a very interesting detail on it, I would try and get it to be a bit more detailed. So do I have an example of this? There's this guy here with a backpack, red kind of thing. I actually made it up, but the guy with the cap right here, down here. So I like that detail, so I added a bit more to it. The couple here, I really like the way they looked, so I put a bit more effort into them. So it's kind of random on a whim, but I try to, because it's such a big thing, you could get away with putting a lot of details everywhere. So I kind of spread out a bit of details here, a bit of details there, and kind of spread it out. So there are maybe 3 areas with a lot of details, and then the rest is kind of ambiguous. So very much kind of a quick choice, of whatever felt like at the moment. Parrot emojis. Yeah, you got the audio. I heard it too. Let me show you. There's a longer one. You'll see in a second. I love parrots. There used to be a pet store near me that had them in the open on a table, and you could just play with them. I don't think I could own one. Too much work. Yeah, parrot. I don't think that's a lot of work with the mopped up hair. Yeah. Let me see. So let me bring that. So this is a bit of a longer video. So let's see. I think you should be able to hear me. I unmuted myself. And you'll see so I can't fast forward, unfortunately. But you'll see in a few moments there's gonna be like a bigger pack and slow-mo, like real nice slow-mo. By the way, look at the sunset. The sunsets here look so good. So here are a couple of birds up top. This is so off topic. It's so funny we were watching this. But these are a couple of birds up top, and that soon the real thing is gonna show up. So we'll see. And hopefully I was fast enough to turn my phone to actually show you. Here they come. Okay, can you see? Big pack. And it's really close. It's really close to the balcony. And every time they go faster and closer. It's so cool. So cool to see. And it's relaxing, honestly. Are they native? So they're not, as it turns out. They're called dreret, I think, in Hebrew. Dror is the most common bird here. I forgot the name, but it's a common bird everywhere around the world. They're like a small brownish kind of bird. These are a type of a parrot that is a bit hostile. I know they eat the eggs of other birds that they take over. So it's like a beautiful bird, but I think they mess things up. I don't know much about it, but that's what I heard. A whole flock. Yeah, there's a huge quantity of them. I don't know how, like, we had a few groups of 20, I think, every time flying by, and it's different groups, I'm sure, because it was different size. Then the time gap didn't make sense that they did around so fast. So yeah, definitely magical, definitely beautiful. Yeah. Margarita, we have parrots as well here in Sicily. They're quite the same. I think we're in the same climactic area. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, they're very noisy sometimes, but always better than traffic noises. Yeah, and you might have noticed right in front we actually have this big open area. I'll show you. Um, right in front, you actually, yeah, you can see it here a bit. There's just this open lot, so they're probably gonna build a bunch of buildings there. So we're hoping it'll take a while, but we're scared it'll happen soon, and then we'll get construction noise. Maybe it'll scare the birds and less of an open view. But I mean, the rows of trees in front of us are gonna stay, which is really really nice. So yeah, let me know if you have any watercolor related questions. I'd be happy to answer. Um, what else was interesting? There's tons of stuff I want to update you on. I really want to do I feel guilty for it not being a painting live stream because it's been so long since we did one. But just with this new setup and everything, I still need to get things in order here before I can do that. The setup to stream a painting process is much more complex because you need two cameras and everything needs to be organized. My desk area here, let me see if I can just take out the camera and show you. It's still not perfectly organized, right? So I have this thing here. I'm not using the same painting desk that I had that can change, the angle much more easily. I'm using the glass one. And so I need to figure it out. Not sure still if this is just going to stay the way it is or change or whatever, but yeah, it's a bit of an awkward space. I did manage to put this thing here. It shouldn't be this way. I organized it better. It's a little droopy, but it's actually here the usual arrangement. I do have my roll of arch paper here, but yeah, we definitely have less storage space, so things are a little wonky still. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna continue optimizing the studio until it feels really good. It's gonna take a while, but I really want to optimize it and make sure that it's really working well. One more thing I did get is, let me see if I can show it to you. So do you see how my laptop rests on this thing? So this thing actually rises. So I got this desk riser thing, so that I can use it as a stand-up desk, as a standing desk, just for health benefit reasons stuff, and not to be super sedentary all day long. And it's actually quite nice. So that's a little hack that I'm happy with. But like, this is messy. I really need to get this entire space in order. It starts to really get on my nerves. So hopefully I will get it done sooner than later. I do have a tendency to kind of get into the flow and just continue doing things the same way, and get in habits and then not improve. And I really want to work against that habit. To me, as long as things work, it's like, it's okay if they look not perfect, things are crooked, things aren't fully, but I'll get it fixed and improved. Petio, I struggle with trying to paint too realistically and match real life colors. Where did I put my phone? Because I want to check the message from Plumpy Lump. I want to be more creative with my colors. Any tips? One thing you can try that is fun is to take a black and white photo and paint it in color. So you're kind of forced to invent your own colors. Now, a lot of freedom with color choice comes from limitation, I find. So if you use a minimal palette, that's good. If you're not, I urge you to try. So just use 3 colors and have the fun and nuance come from how you mix them. So a good place to begin would be like a classic phthalo blue, quinacridone rose, and a lemon yellow. That will give you a huge range of greens and purples and everything. That's what I would try and do. Trying to paint realistically and match. Yeah. So what I do in that regard is I look at the color, for example, this green, And instead of trying to match this exact green, I use a green. So I use my 3 colors and I just use whatever green they produce. I'll mix a bit of yellow, a bit of blue, whatever green I have, I'll use. That's how I approach it. I'll use the same blue, for example, for this chair here and the blue that you see here in the background. I'll just use whatever blue I can produce from the blue I have. That's a great way of kind of breaking free, because I know what you mean when you try and render the paints too realistically, it can get very, very frustrating, honestly, and very daunting and boring sometimes. So I would say that's a good way of letting go of that. I think. Plumpy, let me know if you send it, because I don't see a message right now. But hopefully that helps. Feel free to divulge more information. I'll try and give you more specific advice, even though it's quite specific. Chris, a question about yellow ochre and raw sienna. To me, it's very similar. What do you think about that? So the way they handle is a little different. So I find that, to me, from the raw siennas I used, I may be wrong, they feel a bit more orange. They're both kind of brownish, but the raw siennas I used felt a bit more orangey than yellow ochre. Yellow ochre felt more like a brown yellow, while raw sienna felt more like a brown orange. Now, I don't know if it's, I used Sennelier's raw sienna, so maybe it's a specific thing to there, but that's what I've seen so far. Aside from that, I don't know. The raw siennas I used so far dry really, really hard, and I don't like it as much. And they're more grainy, and I find it just harder to work with. That was my problem. So I don't know if you feel the same, but to me that was kind of an annoying limitation to work with. Um, Visually they're similar. Visually, they're, in the grand scheme of things, they're quite similar. I know that when you look at every color in nuance, there's a big difference, but these two are so close together. It's almost like a burnt sienna and a quinacridone burnt orange. They're so similar, or quinacridone gold even. In the grand scheme of things, they're very similar if you do a visualization of all colors, right? But it's how they handle that's different. Plumpy, have you ever played with line and wash? I don't recall seeing any on your channel. Forgive me if I missed it. No, I actually haven't done too much of that. I did do a bunch based on tutorials on YouTube. Peter Schiller's tutorials mainly, so I have them somewhere here. Not too much. I actually don't like that look too much now. I used to in the past. I don't know why. I Now that I have more hot press paper and more experience with it, I should probably give it a try. Like, some aspects of it I like, others I don't. So if I were to do a line and wash, I'll still try and get very realistic values. The only difference is it would be almost like I'm adding line work after I finish the painting. So it wouldn't change much. I like my current look. I would be okay with adding line work to it, but not the classic typical line and wash style where everything is a little more pastel-y, less realistic. Yeah, I know not everyone paints like that, but that's a lot of what I'm seeing. So yeah, I didn't do much of it. I did do one where all of the paint smeared the ink, because I turned out I had fake pens, fake Sakura micro and Pigma pens, and it smeared everything and it looked bad. I do have some. You can find them if you search for ink or pen and watercolor. Maybe you'll find it. Joanne, I used to paint in oils. How to avoid the tendency to recreate an oil painting in watercolor? Just use tons of water. That's the thing. Use tons of water and pre-wet a lot. Just put water on paper and then do wet and wet. Let the paint do what it does and get used to it. Get used to just looking at the paint spreading out and all of those good stuff. That's what I would do. I like Winsor Newton, specifically yellow ochre or raw sienna. Which one? Yeah, I haven't tried too many Winsor Newton ones. I did have a phthalo green and a phthalo blue Winsor Newton. I do have a designer's gouache by Winsor Newton, which is really good. Thank you, John, for that. Marjorie, good morning. I finally have a caregiver and I can get package out. Need new address. Hope you'll love new digs. Not sure what digs, probably a typo. Wish there was YouTube 70 years ago. How blessed are we today? Yeah, but on the other hand, I think it's kind of cool not to be bombarded with information and stimulation. So I think there were advantages to not having YouTube and internet and computers and social media. At least not modern computers, of course. As for the new place, we love it. As for the new address, email me and I'll send it to you, or if I'll remember, I'll email you. Let me write down a note. I'll email you. You shouldn't work hard in order to send me something, which I'm super grateful for. So I'll see if I can find our old email correspondence and email, but I have to write a note, otherwise I'll forget. So email Marjorie, a new address. Yep. One second. Sorry, I know myself. I have to to type things in order to remember. Line and wash is fantastic for plein air journals. Yeah, for that purpose, catching things quickly, definitely. Aquapilot, fake Sakura micron pens. Yeah, believe it or not, they exist. So I think they just make them in China because they're super cheap and easy to remake. And they worked okay. The real problem was they weren't waterproof. That the actual pen, how it worked, you wouldn't even tell. But yeah, I bought them off eBay. They do exist. I heard from other people that had them happen as well. Sweden calling, do you paint in a plein air anytime? So yeah, I actually have plans to do some plein air around here. There are some beautiful areas, and now that we're with a car and you don't have to worry about parking in Tel Aviv, which is a nightmare, I do plan on driving around a bit more and actually doing plein airs. There are some beautiful small towns around here. And even if you just stop at the side of the highway, you can get such beautiful views. Um, some barns, even some more countryside feeling things. Lots of fields, lots of crops. So it's going to be fun for sure. Colleen, I just recently watched your favorite brush video that you made 5 years ago. I'm wondering how long do your brushes last before you have to buy a new set of brushes? So, to be honest with you, I didn't yet throw out a single brush. I mean, maybe just the Princeton blue brush. I didn't even throw that. I have it here still. None of my brushes really became unusable since the beginning of this. And I still have most of them. I probably have around 40 or 50 brushes here. Um, so that's my answer. I take really good care of my supplies. I try not to have to throw anything out. Even paper that old paper that I painted crap on, or new paper, very rare. Or if I do just a, test paper thing, I'll use the other side as test paper. I try to really be frugal with my art supplies. I didn't really need to buy anything for a long time because and that's not just because I'm frugal, but because people send me stuff to try out and paints, paper, everything. So I really didn't have to buy art supplies in a long time. I do sometimes want to try something specific, or I run out of a specific paint, so I'll buy that. But nothing really that I had to, including brushes. I actually have like 3 brands of brushes that send them to me just to try out. I just didn't have the chance to, because I don't want to force myself to do product reviews. It's a very small aspect of what I do here, and I want to do them when I actually feel like it and when I feel like I tested them enough. Right. So the one thing that really worked well is the Lebanson brushes and the Escoda ones. And honestly, Escoda, I just emailed the owner and told him, hey, I really love the brushes. Thank you for the good job. And he's like, I'll send you a few. So he sent me tons of them. And then Tracy Lebanson sent me the Lebanson brushes. And I honestly have been using these 2 brands for a long time. And I don't need almost anything else. I did incorporate a few new ones. Some specific use ones, some larger ones if I need something bigger than usual. But for the most part, yeah, that's how I function. So yeah. One thing that will be interesting is to see how my art shifts in the following months, because you will notice some differences. I think already that night scene I did with the car is a bit different from my usual, but there will be some bigger differences you'll see. Just because my mindset is shifting, the things I care about, like generally in my work day and the things I do, are changing. So it's going to be interesting, really, to see how that shifts. Um, and hopefully it'll be in a direction that's like continuing to improve skill wise, continuing to improve my skills while simultaneously making it more my own. That's the one thing that becomes more and more important to me. I don't know why, but like, uh, to make it more my own. That's the thing that's really on my mind lately. Whether that means I have a few ideas for things from my imagination that you are going to see. And yeah, a lot of good stuff. Pilot. Don't know half the terms you use, but I'm enjoying the stream. Do you draw with pencil, then fill in with paint? That's what I usually do. Draw with pencil, then paint. And thank you for the question. Um, I'll do a lot of pencil drawings in general. So let me show you. I actually did a nice little anatomy session. By the way, did I show you? Did you ever see this guitar? This was a guitar I bought in South America, and I've had it with me since. So from 2013, end of 2013, I have tons of stickers on it, including some Pokemon. So that's funny. It actually works. Yeah, it's fun. I'm starting to play a bit again. It's interesting. It's a normal like 6-string guitar, but it's a small one. So I bought it to travel with, and it's quite small, as you can tell. It's smaller than a normal classical guitar. But yeah, I used to be okay with playing, and now I'm like not so good. I remember chords, but yeah. But I was distracted. I wanted to show you this. I did a bunch of really good anatomy sketches today. This is a good one for like idle pose, but still very clear and very on point, I think. I did a bunch of like structure, actually trying for it to look structured in 3D. So that was really good. Yesterday, I did a bunch more structures with the emphasis on it looking like a structure. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. I showed you this one, but this gesture is perfect. Like you can tell she's, there's a, it's a, not a, volleyball kind of thing, but this, I'm so happy with that. So yeah. So I've been doing a lot of working on my drawing skills. And it's at the expense of watercolor. So whenever I paint, I film. And the rest of the time when I practice drawing, I just practice for the manga, mainly, by the way. And thank you so much, Pilot, for enjoying the stream and for being here. Maureen, would it be possible to give tips on how to create your own style of painting? I really don't know how to go about it. So one of the things I'll say about that is take your own photos and paint based on them. I think that's the best thing you can do. Now, if you really feel courageous, don't look at any tutorials, any videos, nothing. And for maybe like a couple of months, even just paint your own photos and see what happens. Just see what happens. But the emphasis is you really have to paint on a regular basis. Now, what this will do is it will solidify in your brain some things. So you'll start kind of understanding how the paint works, but it will make a lot of questions arise. That's when you'll learn, because then something will frustrate you. And after a few months, you'll go online, you'll look for a video that says how to exactly the problem you're having, how to prevent overwork, how to get an even wash, how to do a smooth transition, how to build an interesting composition. And when you watch that video, you won't be just consuming stimulation, you'll actually listen and hang on to every word and learn a lot more. So the thing is, the balance between like learning and applying, it's not balanced enough for most people. I don't know if that's you. It may not be you. You may paint a lot, but there's still a difference from painting from a tutorial and painting your own photos that you took, right? So you find something interesting that you enjoy taking a photo of, and you paint that. And if you do that on a regular basis enough, you'll learn so much that you'll actually have very specific, high-level practical questions. So when you go online and you look for those questions, you'll find a very specific answer, and you won't just be fed information. You'll actually learn a new insight from it. That's kind of how I see things working for me as I learn how to better learn. So a lot of the time, that your own style thing is just paint your own photos and don't look at tutorials. You'll build something that's very authentic. Now, it's going to be bad because you don't still have the experience, maybe, or your technique is not on point. But that's exactly where you do go in a very practical way and search for an answer for a very specific question. I often find myself just watching videos. and consuming content. And it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with something I practically care about. It has nothing to do with that. It's just me consuming information that doesn't benefit me. But when I actually put in the work, the question I'm looking for, the question I'm asking is very specific. And the answer I get is very specific, very applicable. So I don't know if that resonates with you. Hopefully it does. Marjorie, many years ago, when I was teaching oil painting, the first class was make love to your brush. I spent almost half time on cleaning and other usage that will kill your brush. I have some 60 years old. Yeah, so that's interesting. And I know with oils, the brush handling and care is even more important. And I know that oil supplies, if I'm not mistaken, are more expensive, or maybe per milligram the paint isn't more expensive. I'm actually not sure about that, but like I know some supplies are more expensive and there's more of those supplies, and I believe that some of them run out faster. So yeah, I guess it becomes crucial. Plus oil is so, it's thick. So it's very different from water. Watercolor is very easy to clean relatively from a brush. We want to hear play now. Yeah, maybe in the future when I actually relearn some stuff. Let's get a tasty liquid. Yeah. I'm so bad at it right now, but I'll get warmed up and learn back some of the things I forgot. Maybe then. Colleen, I use the Master Brush Cleaner Preserver to keep mine in good condition. Thanks. I feel better about my brush selections. Yeah. One thing I noticed is just cleaning them, even if you just put it in the water and leave it there, it's better than nothing. What pencil do you use the most? These. Just normal number 2 generic pencils, the simplest you can. I actually got a box of like 30 of them, 40 of them, um, about 7 years ago, and I'm still using that same box. Using pencil extenders and everything to preserve them. Well done. Yep. Chris, good morning from Northern California. I'm late bird again, but it's so nice to see you and learn. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's been a mess today. The first live stream didn't work as well, so you didn't miss too much. Joanne, great advice. Thank you for this live stream learning opportunity. Thank you so much. Shanzai, hey Liron, hope you're doing great. I'm feeling hard on choosing references for watercolor painting, and I'd love if you could post a few references somewhere, or maybe tell a website. Yeah, you know what? That's a project I said I would do and I just didn't. I should probably do that soon. Just to give you a bunch of really good reference photos. One thing you can do if you haven't painted along some of my tutorials is just to take the photo that I link in the link of any of the video tutorials that you like and paint it, and just don't watch the tutorial. Just use the reference photo and see how it goes, I think that's the best way you can do it right now. So if you have like a bunch of my videos you haven't painted from, which I believe you should because I post way too many videos for anyone to follow all of them, just go to the link in the description box, get the photo, paint it. I think that's a good place to start. I do like the Wet Canvas Forums image library. I'm going to put it in the description box. I always praise it. Now let's see if I can get a link of it real fast. Yeah, okay, there we go. General reference photo. So Shanze, I'm going to put it in the comments and you can just grab that link. This is a really good source for photos to paint. I'm a beginner, so I feel hard in finding one, even from a website. Can't choose the best one. Pick feels hard, maybe, or can't. Yeah. So I will say one more thing to try is if you're looking mostly at views and landscapes and cityscapes, switch over to still life. So look at some of the link that I sent, go to the still life category, and choose something simple that has one object. So like an apple or a few apples, something like that. That will definitely help for sure. By the way, I want to check something in the audio settings. I don't know why. I don't really like the audio quality. It loses a lot of the quality because it's streaming. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll have to find another solution, but the mic should be okay. So yeah, that's what I would do. Hope that helps. I know it's tough in the beginning, but you'll get through it. I had that time period too where no reference photo was easy enough, no reference photo was perfect enough. Like there's no such thing. Just go for it with any of the simple ones. Richard, hey Leron, I've got into the habit of tracing everything because I find getting a good drawing organically takes so much effort. I'm scared of ruining it with paint. How do I fix this in the long run? Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. So the way I do it with the cars, so I'm going to share a bit with you. I trace most of the cars. I trace. Funny enough, the people painting I just showed you, I drew freehand, but a lot of the cars, because I want them to look perfect, I trace them. And this leads me to whenever I want to paint a car, I automatically go trace mode. And I don't like that too. The way I balance it is maybe you prefer tracing one thing, but you can focus on learning to draw another thing. So let's say you're mostly painting scenes, animals, landscapes, some still life, right? And you're used to tracing those. Find a different thing you can practice that you'll enjoy drawing. So for me, that's different 3D shapes, as well as people and anatomy and heads, like faces, the Loomis method for drawing heads, all of those stuff that are a little more, it's not necessarily even basic, but it's more like the thing when you learn to draw, that's what you focus on. You focus on practicing doing straight lines and curved lines, and then you practice drawing cylinders and boxes and 3D objects. Do some of that so that you have two different paths, one, and you walk them simultaneously. One is I'm gonna trace for full paintings, and then the other one is I'm gonna develop my drawing skills in the traditional way of developing drawing skills by drawing things that have a lot of emphasis on three dimensionality. So you don't draw a full scene with trees and whatever, but you draw a three-dimensional log, right? A cylinder that may be a tree, and you put a lot of emphasis on figuring out the cross contour, how open the oval or closed it is, right? That's how I do it. So I have my subjects that I sketch and practice sketching, and then I have my subjects that I'm used to tracing. And it works fine for me. By the way, the video of the car night scene that I painted, that I posted, not the last one, the one before that, you saw me drawing it freehand. I didn't trace it. So, and it was with emphasis on a 3D box, and then I put in the details. So learning these fundamentals of drawing will serve you well regardless of, and let me get rid of this shine behind, that's so annoying, will help you regardless of the subject. So you could apply it to people, to different subjects. That's how you what's the word I'm looking for, like resolve this issue. That's how you, what's the word for it, I'm looking for a word for it, but that's how you put these two in the right balance. To me, that works really well. um Hey Lollipop, how are you? Love the advice, thank you so much. Christina, what three colors are you using the most these days, or do you just use whatever on your palette? It's the same, nothing really changed. Phthalo blue, French ultramarine, quinacridone rose, pyrrole scarlet, lemon yellow, yellow ochre, pretty much the same thing. Or new gamboge, something like that. Pretty much the same. I'm super boring in that way. Plumpy Lump. I feel like a hipster, but I love using the Unikuro toga. It feels like drawing with a Ferrari. I don't know what it is. Unikuro toga? Unikuro toga. See what it is. Oh, I wasn't familiar with that. So what? It's like a famous pen? Oh, it's like a fancy mechanical pencil. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's nice. I also use a bit of mechanical pencil, but not a lot. I'm using it more actually for the final manga drawings that I did because I really need the thin lines. But when I practice, funny enough, I use just the normal pencil you saw. Um, Also been painting with a dagger brush, and it's been wicked fun. If anyone hasn't tried, yeah, I love dagger brushes. Yeah. Lollipop, can you do some still life shading techniques? Yeah. Do you want like pencil or paint? Let me know. I'll do that. I can do that also live stream. Still life with emphasis on shading. Would love to do that. Shanzei, does paint quality matter much? I mean, if you know how to do layers or plan and paint good, does paint matter? No, it's not a weird question. It does matter. Really bad quality paint can be very annoying to use. It mixes weird. Sometimes when you mix two colors, you end up with a gray somehow or a brown because it's just not good quality paint. It does matter. Not as much as paper, I would say, but it does matter. I would say if you're using like a good student grade tier, you should be fine. But if you're using the worst of the worst, it's gonna be a bad time, I think. Yeah, not solve. It starts with con, but not consolidate. What's the word? Someone has to help me in the chat. Richard, thank you so much. I'll look into what I'll be trace friendly with tonight and what else I'll focus. Yeah, exactly. I think the fundamentals are the best for that because it really helps with everything. So if you just anyone who's thinking like how the boring exercises translate to actual final, it's almost like practicing scales on the guitar. It helps you when you do a solo because it's easier to remember because you know the scales the solo is on. So this is one example, right? So when you learn to draw boxes and cylinders and all of that, you can use cylinders to draw this. You can use a box to draw this. You can, the way I painted the car, the way I sketched that car, I really, really first made sure that I get a good box. And based on that, I did I cut it to make it into a car. And it really is an interesting process. So I would highly recommend you go with the fundamentals and learn to enjoy them. It gets very enjoyable very fast. It's very hard in the beginning. When I started holding the pencil the recommended way I saw in some places, like this instead of this, it was very hard. It took me a couple of months just to get used to that. And I've been drawing ever since I remember myself. So it'll take time, but it's worth it. Well worth it. The Kurutoga spins the lead as you draw, so it always. Oh, really? Wow, that's interesting because I always end up when I hold a mechanical pencil rotating it. Wow, I had no idea such a thing existed. That's why it's called a roulette mechanical pencil, huh? And but how does that work? Like, it's mechanical, I guess. It's no like there's no battery or anything like that, right? Or there is a battery, huh? Well, it is a Mitsubishi, so it does make sense that it feels like a Ferrari. Wow, that's interesting. But how does it rotate without you noticing? I wonder. Shanzei, thank you, Liron. Means a lot for answering my questions. I've improved a lot just because of you and maybe never learned too much from anyone else about water. Thank you so much. Yeah. I would encourage everyone at some point, just take a break from my videos and paint for yourself, from yourself. But then once you, again, as I talked earlier, once you have very specific questions, very specific knowledge and some experience, and someone, I don't remember who it was, but someone told me recently, was it on a live stream or was it, I'm not sure, but someone told me that they've been really putting in the effort for a couple of months, and it felt very different watching a video after that because you perceive so much more. You see so much more of what happens, the nuances. You notice a lot of things you wouldn't have otherwise, and you get real answers to your questions. It actually works really well. So yeah. Lollipop, is there any video of pencil shading technique? So you know what's funny? Actually, in the I think in the watercolor realism course, I have a video. Oh, I have it here too. Wait, I have it here. I'm gonna put a link. Wait, just give me a second. I have a video of sketching an apple and I'm shading. Sketching apple. Let's see if I can find it for you. Wait a second. Pencil drawing. It's from my courses, but I uploaded it here too. Where? Oh, there we go. Draw without knowing how to draw. So that's actually a fun video. So it's called Draw Without Knowing How to Draw. Here is your link. That's actually a cool video where I show that. It's not, super detailed because it's not my normal cup of tea, or my normal. It's out of my normal lane, I would say. But I do show a really nice shading there. It's time lapsed some of it, but it's worth watching. Heather, hi Ron, late cover. Sorry. Yeah, no worries. For everyone who joined late, I'm going to run through some apartment photos for you because I did want you to feel at home too. So here we go. Living room, really nice. Sofa, we had it made specifically for the space because of that awkward diagonal next to the balcony. You see the painting above it. That's my biggest painting so far, a New York scene. That shelf above it, someone made for us, costume. The TV is in a really good strategic placement. You have to understand, before we got into the apartment, the TV was against that wall you see on the left, and the sofa was in the middle of the room. So what you end up is closing up the entire space. Well, here it's all open. It's so much fun. Kitchen, again, that other angle. Balcony, really nice. This chair on the right, this is really, really nice. Very comfortable. I like to sit there when I do some thinking, writing. Here is the bathroom, shower, and the nice little sink. Here are some studio pics for you. A big mess still. This is my workstation. This is where I sit right this second. It's a big mess. Here are some trinkets up there. The storage unit, which I, by the way, still need to put some stuff in because it's a good space to store stuff. Here it is from another angle. And I did make a commitment to this time make the studio look really, really good. Like those cool streamers and video game kind of esports streamers. So yeah. Heather from Colorado. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the kind words. Plumpy Lump, game changer, my guy. It works from the vibration of the friction. There's a little engine at the spout. It allows a lot of freedom that traditional mechanical pencils don't. That sounds so cool. I need to get it. Now, that's one thing I need to get. I'll get it. That's really cool. Richard, thank you so much. Yeah, it is really beautiful. I attribute most of the design to Mai. She's really, really good at this stuff. She's the brain and I'm the brawn, so I'll sometimes but she's actually better at home improvement than me as well. So I'm just kind of helping out. No, I actually did a lot. I'm not giving myself enough credit. I did a lot here, but design-wise, like Mai really has a very good vision. So a lot of it is thanks to her. A lot of it, and the paintings, I give some value with those too. So that's fun. Shanzei, is that print or a painting behind? Yeah, that's actually a print enlarged. Yep. I can bring it if you want to see it up close. Actually, I showed it once, I think, in a live stream. Let me show you. So yeah, this is a print. Not the best quality too, because the original is tiny. And I actually took a big risk when I decided to do this one as a print, but I think it's really good looking, like really, really nice. And from afar, you don't notice that the quality is kind of so. So a very, very nice one. I like it on the wall like that. Wasn't even planning, honestly, to have it here. I planned on having it somewhere in the living room or somewhere else, but I ended up putting it here just because it was a good spot, and I needed a background for a video, and then it just stayed there. So that's funny. We have a huge open plan living room too. It's nice and breezy, and then my art desk is there too. Oh, that's really fun. By the way, one big advantage of this is that I can play with Ruth. So I sit somewhere in the balcony and I throw her the play rope. She loves playing with it. So there's enough space to actually make her run a bit, right? It's nothing beats the outside, but it's nice. Chris, your apartment is lovely and airy. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy windy. So we actually have a problem with the air condition, as I mentioned. There was a leak, and now it makes the electricity like jump. It jumps the switch in the switchboard. So it's not that usable, unfortunately, right now. But we have such good wind, and I actually have a ceiling fan. I haven't shown you. Let me show you. A really nice one, looking one. So that with the windows is like super comfortable, actually. It looks so cool. Oh my god, thank you. Yes, I watched you paint that. Love it. Yeah, I think it's one of my best videos. Like, I have, so the videos I consider best are never the ones that actually perform best. So it's one of I think my best videos. It actually got quite a lot of views, but like the videos that get the most views, like over 100,000, that's crazy amount of views, 200,000, are not necessarily the ones I consider best, which is funny. It always happens. How much did that print cost? Around, I believe, 170 shekels, with shipping maximum 200, which amounts to around $60, $65, I think. And they did this freebie kappa print, so smaller. This is a canvas print, so it was a little more pricey, and it's quite big. So yeah, $60. Let me calculate it. 200 NIS to USD. $61 to be precise, something like that, with the shipment, I think. Or maybe I'm exaggerating. 70, yeah, something like that, in that ballpark. Rattlesnake Renegades. Thanks, Aaron. My watercolor looks much better since I follow you. Still busy with your 2 courses. Also reading Nita Engel's book you recommend. Oh, that's awesome. Rattlesnake, I haven't seen you in a while in a live stream. I think it's been a while, right? Thank you for being here. Maybe I forgot, and forgive me if I have. So happy I can help, and thank you so much for getting the courses. Much appreciated. By the way, yeah, I have to every live stream take a break and thank you so much for getting these, because for the past month I didn't work at all, and the fact that people continue purchasing the courses, it makes me so happy and grateful, because not everyone can afford to actually take a break. It's been such an intense move here, and of course my continued working, so that's good, but I had to take a break. I couldn't focus on everything together, and you kept purchasing the courses, everyone. So thank you so much. Shanze, why don't you get more for apartment? Make gallery would be cool. Like more prints and hang more stuff around. We actually have plans to put a lot of other paintings around. You can see here from this door, this is the dining area and the living room. That's where I took the picture of the living room from. Okay. And there's a big wall behind it. So we're probably going to get like 12 of the car paintings for the book and frame and hang them there. So that's going to be really, really fun. Aquapilot, is the head prop one of those heads, forgot the name, where one side is simple and the other is more complicated? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like one is fully rendered and another is polygon. No, this is actually just a regular, it's the same on both sides, actually, like a Calc type. Let's see how, I don't know how to say that in English. Let me check. I don't think it's Calc. There's a different name. Polystyrene, styrofoam. Yeah, styrofoam. So yeah, it's a styrofoam. It looks the same on both sides, and it's super light. So the first time I opened the window here, it just flew out the window. Not out the window, flew from the window. So I ended up putting it's hollow inside. So I just put a bunch of really low value coins there, something of the equivalent of 3 cents. That's what we have here, like 10 agorot, we call it. I put it in there and taped it down, and so it stands there. It stays in place. Otherwise, it would fly from the wind because it's very lightweight. And I remember taking these 10 cents, basically it's our cents, shekel cents, and putting it in. I'm like, but it's money. I'm wasting money to. And then I'm like, yeah, but like it totals to about 1 shekel, which is like 30 cents, something like that. So like it's nothing. If I would have bought a nail or something to set it in place, it would have cost more. So it's so funny. Like when I hold the money in my hand, it feels so much more valuable than when you pay with credit card or whatever. Just general thoughts. Asaro head. Haven't heard of that. Asaro head. Let's see. Oh, that's really cool. Oh yeah, so Asaro head, it's not necessarily half and half. It's a polygon based head. Yeah, and I use these digitally for drawing. I'll open up a digital model, rotate it however I want to see it, and then sketch based on that. Yeah. Very useful. I had no idea it had a name. I didn't know it's called a sorrow head. It's interesting. Yeah, it's just polygons. Is it like it's a specific model, I guess. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, you can find a lot of these models in Sketchfab and a bunch of other websites. Yeah, I love these. Interesting. It is a good model. I'll use that next. I used a similar one, not identical, but a similar one. So yeah. Money emojis and laughing emojis. It's funny. Emil, having visited some art events, just a second. Let me close the sorrow head. It's slowing down. I see the number of watercolor paintings is at least an order of magnitude less than oils or acrylics. Is there such a mindset that the value of watercolor is below oil? Yeah, there is this mindset, but it's old-fashioned, and I don't prescribe to it. Yeah, but it does exist, this perception. I think a properly executed painting or a work of art, the medium is irrelevant. You can use whatever you want. Paint your money. I would love to see it. Funny. Maybe I will. A friend just moved to Israel. Oh, that's fun. Where to in Israel? Interesting. Go Rishankar. Thank you so much for the tutorials. It's really motivating people a lot. Thank you so much. Very happy I could help. Michelle, where can we see a list of available courses? Did I make one? I started working on something and then I never really finished it. The list is just in the description of my videos. That's the best place to see it. You just go to the description and you see it there. Now, this live stream's description is going to be empty because I did it impromptu real fast because the other live stream didn't work. But just go to a random video. Usually the top 2 links are going to be the courses, the main ones. Drawing and watercolor. Colleen, what is your favorite paper size to paint or draw? That's interesting. I would say around A4 is kind of a decent, or A3, like printer paper and double. That would be the most common one. I actually really like the idea of painting small but detailed because you have more control, as opposed to painting big. And, when you look at it smaller size, it looks very detailed, right? But I like the idea of painting a very detailed small painting because you have more control. It takes less materials, less time. It just has all the advantages, and it still looks really good when done. So I would say A4 is a good size. A3 for me, I enjoy quite a bit. Paulina, so happy that your move went well and you can continue to share your knowledge with us. Love the casual teaching style. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been really missing in my life, the whole teaching and sharing and the live streams. It's been really hard during the move, and I felt that I was going crazy. But yeah. So let's see, is there anything else interesting? I think we're getting close to the end. I think we'll wrap up soon. I'm actually really hungry all of a sudden, so I'll probably go eat. I will try to at least do one video a week where it's a proper long tutorial in addition to the live stream. And in addition to the short videos, because I've been really enjoying filming the shorts. It's really fun. But I do think there is a lot of value in a full process on a regular basis. So I look forward to seeing a lot of good ones, hopefully in the near future. A lot of ones that maybe feel more like me, more unique in a way, Marjorie says, Styrofoam, the cheapest fast sculpture medium going. Yeah. What's the making of Lord of the Rings? I've made several Gothic architectural copies. Oh, that's super cool. That's really nice. Yeah. And I like that it's lightweight. I've been carrying so much load in this move. I've been carrying tons of stuff. And it's nice to have things be lightweight. It's so funny. I think my standards for what's light and what's heavy have shifted completely. So I'm lifting stuff that in the past I was like, that's a chore to lift. And right now it's like nothing, just one-handed, lifted easily, because I've been carrying so many boxes, so many stuff. It's been really tiring. And like if you do it like moving in an older age, if you don't have as much energy, that sounds like a bigger nightmare. Like you need to have help. Luckily, we're still kind of young, so but thinking about doing this later in life sounds really hard. And thank you, Nancy. Thank you for being here. Hope to be able to join you all next week. Yeah, definitely, and I'll try for it to be a tutorial. Actually, this setup I'm using right now to stream, they did add a feature of using multiple cameras. I'm gonna upgrade to the 1080 plan, and I think it's gonna be really good. I think the quality will be significantly improved, and it will be a good thing. And slowly you'll feel the background improving, the foreground improving. Yeah, I really, really want to make this a cool, fun work environment where it's really inspiring too. So we'll see how I'll go about doing that. I'm really looking at the space, trying to figure out how I'll do it. But yeah, for now it's pretty basic. Colleen, thank you for sharing your time and thoughts on art with us. It's been a great fun. Thank you so much. It's been fun for me too. Corina, thank you so much for this great live stream. Yeah, thank you so much. One thing I feel like this move has improved is I have way more inner peace and quiet. It's this move and the NLP therapy that I've been doing. Everything is so it's been more relaxed. I have to say I have much more inner peace. Michelle says, "Don't strain your painting muscles." Glad you got moved. You seem quite relaxed. Yeah, and actually, this wrist is still. I think I have a minor injury here. Maybe I have a really small inflammation thing, because I feel it from carrying a bunch of stuff. So I'm really taking it easy in the last week or so. There's nothing too heavy to carry anymore. Just for it to fully heal. It's not that bad. It's like one of the mildest things I've ever had, but I just wanted for it to fully heal. What are your headphones? That's a funny story. So when I worked in the high tech industry as technical support, I used to get a monthly like food thing where you get the like Sodexo, if you know it's Cebus, it's very common, right? So I had around 600 Israeli shekels a month to spend. And if you don't spend them by the end of the month, poof, they're gone. So I ended up getting to the last day of the month, and I had about 200 more to spend. So like, what am I going to spend it on? The one thing that you could spend it on is anything in the chain store called Yellow. It's a chain store in gas stations, and they actually have other stuff other than food. So I just went to one of them and I'm like, I need to spend the 200 shekels here. So they had these Bluetooth headphones, and I just bought them, and I've had them since then. That's 2015, and they still work really nice. So that's the headphones. The audio is decent. It's not that bad actually too. They're really cheap though. I don't know what brand it is. Akai. So it's not the best, but not the worst, I think. So yeah, these are the headphones. I do have some better ones too. I have JBL ones that are decent, but these I don't know. They have this audio jack that I need for the mic, so it's good. Because I can do real time monitoring to hear myself because it's connected directly to the mic. Bluetooth doesn't work that way. Go Rishankar. Thank you, Liron. I started learning watercolor with your videos. Yeah, thank you so much. Emil, if you get a nice close-up picture of the birds you've shown us, you can paint them. Yeah, definitely. That will be fun. I actually want to paint the pots you saw outside. I got a good photo of them in direct sunlight, and I'll do a tutorial that talks about edges because they have some very interesting edges in strong sunlight. Some are soft, some are hard edges, so it's going to be real fun. Plumpy Lump, have you considered doing a community building art channel type thing? I think yours would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm so bad at these things. Like even the Discord, I haven't really went there, and that's like the biggest community building place. I'm so bad at it. So yeah, I want to say maybe in the future, but I'm not the type of like art challenge person. So it's like a real muscle strain for me to do these, even though they're great. Like I agree, they're great. So you'll forgive me if I'm really bad at this. I think the best kind of community building for me is these kinds of live streams and talking and listening and seeing what you have to say, and even conversations between you and the live stream. That's the best I can do for now. Maybe it'll change in the future. Who knows? Dynamic perspective. That's always important when drawing. Yeah, finally stumbled upon a live chat. I'll have to watch in between colonoscopies. Patience first. Yeah, definitely. And I'm happy that you're the one giving the colonoscopies and not getting them, because that sucks. I think I haven't had one, but I heard. Heather, my friend, actually, daughters, lives in Jerusalem. Where are you from there? I live in a place called Yavne. It's pretty much in the center of the country. It's not too. It's a little south of center, but still, in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty center. It's not too far from Tel Aviv. It's actually not that far from Jerusalem. Someone asked if I'm not too far from my parents. I'm actually still pretty much the same distance, just from a different angle. Marjorie, the last pain to crop up as a real disability has been nerve damage that I got from building koi pond 40 years ago. Moved far too many boulders. Oh yeah, that sounds rough, but beautiful probably result, right? Koi pond, that sounds fun. My Sodexo card works only in restaurants. But yeah. So we had it's mostly restaurants, but then you do get those yellow gas stations, which is super useful because people use it for groceries too. Aquapilot, nice. Remember Sodexo from school lunches. Eureka, though, for better or worse. I remember getting some Akai music products, but didn't think they produced headphones. Yeah, these brands, they produce everything. It's almost like Mitsubishi produces pencils, so it's same kind of thing. Dynamic perspective. Anybody in Colombia River Gorge? Interesting. Okay, now we got the daily dose of spam. Block user. Bye bye. Hello from California, everyone. Hey, Laura. Sorry for you to arrive right near the end of the live stream, but you can watch back there. There was some cool apartment photos, cool parrot videos. We can end with a parrot video again, just for fun. Let's do that, and then we'll wrap it up. Here's the short one. Oh, wait, that's not that. Where is it? Oh, I could put background music? They added background music. Wait, let me play it. I can put background music on my streams. That's fun. Okay, enough. I don't need that. Uh, that's funny though. They added a bunch of features here. Okay, here's the parrot. Some more parrots. So that's fun. We have a parrot show every evening from the balcony, 7 p.m. sharp. So yeah, we'll wrap it up now. Thank you so much to everyone who was here. I'm gonna go eat something. I'm super hungry for some reason. And yeah, we're gonna do another cool, very useful painting video next week. And probably a painting live stream, maybe. We'll see. We'll see about that. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated. For anyone who buys the products, whatever they are, courses, books. If you learn from me, if you get value from me, that's the best I can ask for. Thank you so much, Daria, for being here. And yeah, we'll wrap it up for today. Have a great weekend too, coming soon. Relax like me, because I'm gonna relax. Wait, let's see a dynamic perspective. Let's see what you're gonna say. I'm gonna wait till I see what you're gonna say, and then I'll go. Gauri Shankar, thank you so much. Dynamic perspective. I'm waiting. Oh, yeah, okay. When do these happen usually? It's always the same. It's Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Always the same time. For now. It's been very consistent. Thursdays, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Same time next week. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Tombo. Thank you, Margarita. And Tombo, really happy that you like the painting. Chris, P.S. The reference photo sites I mentioned are free. Awesome. Yeah. You got it. Thank you, Emil. Okay, we'll wrap it up. We'll talk to you again real soon. Take care. And by then, next time, we'll have a better setup. At the very least, here with StreamYard, we're going to have better quality and so on. We'll talk soon.